last months we have been focused very much on AI and digital, but the core has been innovation. I'm very privileged because I was in almost, I think, all your events with our Commissioner for Research and Innovation and Higher Education. She has put forward innovation areas. Thank you very much. I want to thank Roland and all the staff that has worked with him, all the board of Knowledge for Innovation and the president of the board, Marceline Dupree, and all the speakers and my colleagues. You will have several MEPs tomorrow.
We set a new focus. It's innovation for purpose, innovations for good. We really want to support the solutions for the real challenges that we are facing. What I would like to do very briefly now is to give you a glimpse of what you can expect from tomorrow's program. We will have very short pitches of those that are responsible for the events tomorrow, and also the interesting startup presentations just in the session before.
Dear guests, as President of Knowledge for Innovation, I'm honored to be speaking at the AI and Big Data for Innovation Summit. As we all know, the world is facing an existential crisis caused by climate change. The current state of AI has the potential to help us solve many of the world's most pressing problems, including climate change. That is why TU Delft decided to organize a dedicated high-level lunch event tomorrow during the summit on climate engineering. We want to explain better what is climate engineering and why we should not be afraid of this. However, to fully realize the potential of AI and in sustainability, we must also consider the ethical and social implications of these technologies.
And as you know, UN set 17 goals of sustainable development. Sustainable development is an oxymoron. It's impossible to have sustainable and development. And we have to choose between the both, optimize, and AI is here to help us. I will introduce the 17 goals and how AI can address some of them with system view, of course.
Thank you. Let me first try to pronounce our name. It's Eindhoven AI Systems Institute. We as a knowledge institute, as an education institute, it's very important that we see that this AI Act, that it should not hinder our innovation. But there's a slight concern still there that we should talk about, that this exception is there unless that some of the products that we build will be used in industry later on. That we can do this regulation of AI that we fully support, but on the other hand that we are not going to block innovation in Europe compared to all the other regions, because that's what we're good at.
Okay, tomorrow I will give you some example of how we exploit artificial intelligence to analyze remote sensing satellite image data for agricultural and environment purposes, related to some researches that I conducted and some researches that are conducted in Europe and so also abroad Europe.
We talked today also a lot about AI and innovation, but if you talk about the Green Deal, but the question is, what is the risk of not using AI and not finding solutions for our climate change? As there is in the Act not an opportunity-based approach, but a purely risk-based approach, we will face that risk of actually not doing something.
My name is Franz Pfister. I'm the CEO and one of the co-founders of DeepSea. We're an AI platform company also in the healthcare domain. I've also lived in the US. The differences between Europe and the US, and this is also what's in our hearts. So we want to build things, especially for the healthcare domain, in a sustainable way. Then in the US, there is a huge market opportunity. We are in our hearts European and want to build this here. If you can help us stay here and build things here, I would appreciate it.
For me, this is the easiest question to answer because I've been in the US. I came back and started Aleph Alpha here in Europe because I think for the current generation of AI is one of the biggest challenges that humanity ever faced. It's a huge net positive if Europe as a player that's able to contribute on the same level. I'm speaking to investors and they tell us that we should focus on the US market and we should maybe consider moving to the US because the climate is so slow and hostile here. So I think overall the world will be a better place if it's not just China and the US that are leading the current race for AI.
My name is Bernd Wiches, I'm the CEO of Ocomeda. What we do as Ocomeda is we provide AI products for ophthalmology. The topic is very close to our heart, which we're discussing, because we want a Europe that's competitive. And there's a strong draw for us into the US because it's a large market, it's homogeneous, and there's easier legislation and more funds. What keeps us in Europe is basically our heart, but a lot of the effects are on the other side. So we would like to contribute to the discussion a bit to make it a competitive space for startups here.